Today, let's talk about a totally different way of learning. We're going to dive into a framework that's not about just collecting facts, but about building a much deeper, more connected understanding of, well, everything.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. Staring at a textbook, cramming dates and formulas into your brain, just hoping it all sticks long enough to pass the test. And then, what happens a week later? Poof, it's usually all gone.
So that begs the question, what if learning wasn't about memorizing all those little isolated details? What if it was about understanding the huge, powerful ideas that actually connect everything together? That's really the heart of what we're going to unpack.
All right, so let's look at how we can actually move beyond that old cram and forget model and start building some real, lasting knowledge.
And this is it. It's called concept-based learning. The best way to think about it is like this. All that subject-specific stuff, the facts, the dates, the skills, that's not the end goal anymore. Instead, all that knowledge becomes the set of tools you use to explore these much bigger, universal ideas. Ideas you can actually take with you and apply anywhere in life. So what's the big deal about a concept anyway? What makes these ideas so special in this whole system? Let's break down the moving parts that make it all tick. This quote just nails it. A concept isn't just another topic to study. It's a key. It literally unlocks the door to a whole field of knowledge, giving every single student a way in, no matter where they're starting from.
Now, to build this deep kind of understanding, the whole framework relies on two different but totally complementary types of concepts. Let's take a look at how they work together.
First up, we've got the key concepts. Think of these as the big picture foundation for this entire approach.
And there are exactly 16 of them. These are the core, foundational ideas that are designed to drive the thinking across the entire curriculum. And here they all are. Just take a look. You can see right away how broad and universal these are, right? Ideas like change, perspective, or systems, they don't belong to just one subject. They are absolutely everywhere, from science to art to history.
Let's make this a bit more real with some quick examples. So, take the key concept of change. This isn't just about, say, a historical revolution. It's a lens you can use to understand a chemical reaction in science, the way a character develops in a novel, or even shifts in musical styles.
Or how about perspective? This one is so powerful because it forces you to constantly ask, wait, who's telling this story? From what angle are we even looking at this problem? It's basically a built-in prompt for critical thinking.
And one more, systems. This one trains your brain to see the world as this web of interconnected parts. That could be a biological ecosystem, the engine in a car, or even the grammar of a language. Ultimately, these key concepts are the massive, transferable ideas that give us a framework for our thinking.
But you can't just stay at 30,000 feet, right? To really dig into those big ideas, you need more detail. And that's exactly where related concepts come in. They're the next layer down. They ground that big, broad key concept in a specific subject, adding that disciplinary depth and focus you need. This chart really clears it up. On the left, you've got the key concepts. They're broad, they span across subjects. On the right, you've got related concepts. They're subject-specific, they add all that rich detail. You absolutely need both. It's kind of like having a wide-angle lens and a zoom lens for your brain. So for instance, let's say you're in a science class exploring that big key concept of systems. You might zoom in using related concepts like energy, interaction, or models to really focus your investigation with scientific precision.
But what if you're exploring that very same key concept, systems, in a literature class? Well, you'd use a totally different set of tools. You'd zoom in on related concepts like structure, theme, or character to figure out how the system of a novel actually works. See? Same big idea, different specialized tools.
Okay, theory is great and all, but how does this actually play out in a real classroom? Let's walk through a concrete example from a design class to see it in action.
It's a really straightforward process. First, the teacher picks one of those big key concepts, in this case, development. Next, to give it that subject-specific focus for design, they add a related concept, innovation. And the whole goal here is to connect those two dots to create a powerful, lasting idea.
And here it is, this is the big takeaway. By combining development and innovation, you land on this powerful conceptual understanding. This isn't just some random fact to memorize for a test. It's a deep, transferable truth about how creativity and progress actually work.
And this is the magic trick right here. That statement, it's not trapped in the design classroom. Think about it. The evolution of artistic movements,
the progress of historical events, the ways scientific theories get refined, they all follow a very similar pattern. The learning has officially transferred, it's left a classroom.
So when you put all of these pieces together, what's the actual payoff? What does the learner really get out of all this?
At the end of the day, the real win here isn't just about better grades. It's about building a more flexible, agile, and intelligent mind. This approach literally trains you to think critically, to see the hidden connections between different subjects, and to build knowledge you can actually use to solve new problems out in the real world, long after you've forgotten the date of the exam.
So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Think about a topic you're really passionate about, or maybe even a problem you're trying to figure out right now. What's the one big, transferable key concept that could unlock a whole new level of understanding for you?